Xander Holt here. Welcome to the Rock Hard for Life Kitchen. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a basic erection smoothie. And you can see I'm wearing my headsets today because making smoothies can be a little loud. It's hard to talk over, so that's why I'm wearing my headset today. And before I make this erection smoothie, teach you how to do this, there's two things that's really important to keep in mind. One of which is these smoothies and nutrition in general is just one element of the erection ecosystem, the impact point matrix. There's a lot more that goes into erections than just nutrition. It's a very important part of it, and these can definitely help increase your nutrition as well as give you an extra boost when you go in the bedroom. Okay, but they're not a magic bullet. There is no magic bullet, as I say all the time. It's an ecosystem. This is part of the ecosystem. And this leads into my second point, is you can't drink these smoothies and just expect to get a rock hard erection. Okay, even ED drugs, guys who take ED drugs, the reason they need ED drugs is because their ecosystem is not good enough. Their foundation in their ecosystem. So they need something strong, like a drug, to push through that. And sometimes even that won't work, right? Because the foundation of their erection ecosystem is not solid. This will help. Nutrition is definitely an important part of a solid foundation. But the important thing to keep in mind is here, you're not going to drink a smoothie, or at least most people aren't going to drink a smoothie and just pop an erection. Okay, there's other things involved. There's relaxation. There's arousal. There's lots of other parts of the ecosystem that have to be working. Okay, even a lot of guys who take ED drugs don't just pop an erection right away. They still need to get aroused. Okay, so if you eat salads or something really healthy and you're not popping an erection after that, then don't expect the smoothies to do that for you. They just give you an extra boost when you're going in. So when you do get relaxed and aroused in the bedroom, they help. Okay? And I used to use these quite a bit. And what I'm going to show you today is what I used to use a lot. Whenever I was going to have sex, I would make one of these smoothies. So this is the simplest form. All right? I'm going to start with the simplest ingredient right here. And that is a beet. Okay, just a red beet. Okay, this thing is full of nitrates and makes really good smoothies. Now, this is a beet juice. You could also use beet juice, but I prefer using an actual whole raw beet because a high-powered blender, which you should have if you're going to make smoothies, will break all this up and you'll drink the whole food, not just the juice. So you get a lot more nutrition out of it. And I think they work better. They're fresher. You know, they're just broken open. All that nutrition is fresh versus something that's already pre-bottled. Okay? But my point here is you can make a smoothie, and I have many a times in the past, with just a beet, one ingredient. This is your main ingredient for a simple sex smoothie. Okay? One beet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add more than that. I'm going to show you how you can build upon this and create a more sophisticated smoothie that helps even more. But we're going to start with the basics, and then I'll start adding. Okay, so we're going to start with this beet. I'm going to wash it off here. And then I'm going to chop off this top. Now, you don't even have to. There's beet greens that come off of this that were also really good for you. But just for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use the beet root itself. Okay, actually, I'll cut it here so you can see me better. So basically, all you need to do at this point is just cut it up. I like to cut it into fourths because when it's round like this, it can kind of bounce around in there and not chop up real well. So just cut it in half and then cut it in fourths, and that's good enough. Just put it on in. Okay, and then at this point, since it's a whole food, it's not going to be real liquidy it's going to be hard to drink like this. So you want to add water to it. So I've already got some filtered water here. This came out of my reverse osmosis sink, which I recommend. I highly recommend you have a reverse osmosis system so that your water is nice and pure. It takes a lot of the fluoride out, which is not good for your overall sexual performance, and takes all the junk out of the water. Really good investment. I think it was $250, and then I installed it myself. Not bad at all. It's an aqua sauna, in case you're interested, but they have all different types of models. Okay, so we got that. You're just adding enough water to where when you mix it up, it can be liquid, so you can drink it. Okay, so we're going to start adding. So if I were to add a second ingredient to this, which I would do sometimes, it would typically be celery, because celery is a great testosterone booster. It has a mild flavor, so it's not going to overpower the flavor. And it has something in it called aldosterone, which is a type of steroid that is an androgen that actually increases male pheromones. So not only will it increase your testosterone, but it will actually make you smell that way to the opposite sex. They can smell that on you. This is really good to help boost that. So I'm going to put a couple of raw sticks of celery in here. Okay, just break them up, put them in. You can put whatever you want. Now, this is another thing I want to kind of bring to your attention is that, especially when I was making these simple smoothies, it wasn't about taste for me. It was about performance. So I'm going to show you some things you can do for taste, but if you're expecting something like a super delicious ice cream tasting smoothie, it's not going to be that way. Okay, it's going to be earthy. It's a blended salad, basically, is what it is. But we're using ingredients that are boosting to, testosterone, erections, nitric oxide, that type of stuff, CGMP. So that would be my second step if I were to add another ingredient. I used to do that quite a bit. Okay, I would add some celery to it. And you can even put more if you want, but keep in mind the amount you put in there, it's going to make a pretty big drink. So you'll need to drink that, drink that down pretty well. The next thing I would put in there would be ginger. So this is some fresh ginger. Ginger is really great for nitric oxide production as well as testosterone production. Let me cut it here, sorry. Make some room. So just cut you off a slice or a couple slices of this. It's pretty intense, so it all depends on the flavor, but I like it pretty intense. So I'm going to cut me a couple of slices off of here. Get it in there. In fact, I might even put a third. Okay. So ginger, really good for that. Really great for your blood flow. And then the next thing I would put is some sort of fat. Okay. Well, once again, I just want to emphasize, many a times it was just a beaten celery, beaten ginger. You don't have to overcomplicate this. I'm just showing how you can build this to make it better and better if you'd like. So you know how to make your own smoothies. Okay, especially this first video here, is I kind of want to make those points. So the next thing I would do is add some sort of healthy fat, because when you have a healthy fat in there, it helps your body absorb these nutrients much better. And you could use various things for that. Coconut oil is excellent for that, like maybe putting a tablespoon of coconut oil in here. You can even use olive oil. Sometimes the flavor, though, I'm not as crazy about that in a smoothie, but you can do it. But what I really like to do is add avocado. Avocado is full of vitamin E, and which is great for your sexual functioning, and it's full of monounsaturated fats, which make these nutrients very easy for your body to absorb. Now, you can either cut you up a fresh avocado, but I wanted to bring this to your attention too, is a lot of times you can get this in the grocery store, just frozen, chopped up avocado, so it's ready to go. And you'll see this not so much in this video, but in my other smoothie videos. I like to use these frozen foods, particularly the frozen fruits, because they're super convenient, and they make it like like an icy, like a slushy when you mix it up. So it's really pleasant, it's refreshing. So you can do that with avocado. Now, avocado, like I said, not only will it add that great fat, making it easier for your body to absorb this, and I just put in a various amount. I would say that's probably a quarter to a half cup, whatever you want. If you put in too much, it will overpower the taste. But a little bit of it, not only does it give you that fat, it makes it real creamy. It's really good. So avocado is a great thing to have on hand, and like I said, you can get it frozen. Now, at this point, I could, actually, I'm going to add one other thing. You don't have to add these. Once again, this is optional, but white button mushrooms. I usually like to throw some of that in there, not a ton, but some of it, because white button mushrooms are a really powerful aromatase inhibitor, which basically aromatase converts free testosterone into estrogen. And you don't want that. You want the free testosterone. We only have, if you're lucky, you got 2 to 3% of your testosterone's free testosterone. Some guys have much lower percentages than that. So you certainly don't want to have it converting into estrogen. So there's different things you can do to help decrease aromatase enzyme, but white button mushrooms are some of the best. And as long as you don't throw too many of them in there, I got some slices here, so I'm going to throw in a few slices. You won't even taste it in there, right? It's very mild flavor, but it'll give you that aromatase inhibition. Okay, so in terms of ingredients, that's pretty much what I would put in. If I were to add something else, it would probably be hot pepper. This is a jalapeno pepper, and that's one trick when it comes to when you're making smoothies primarily for erection boosting, testosterone boosting, and it's not a great tasting smoothie. You're just doing it because the ingredients work really well. Part of what makes it more palatable is if you can make it sweeter, hotter, or a combination of the two, sweet and hot. And then the flavors, it's more palatable. Let's put it that way. But some people aren't into spicy foods. But if you are, cayenne pepper, jalapeno peppers, any kind of chili peppers are high in what's called capsaicin. And this will increase not only blood flow, but help improve vessel health. Vessel health, it'll help clear your arteries out. It's really great for erections overall. So instead of chopping this up, though, because I'm going to use this in another dish that I'm about to make, I'm going to use just cayenne pepper. So you can just take some cayenne pepper and put a pinch of that in there. You don't have to. Once again, this is optional. But it does give you some additional erection boosting, and to me, it makes the taste of the smoothie more palatable. But you can definitely overdo this. So I just, it's a pinch. I just take a little bit on the end of my spoon and just put it in. It's just literally like it would be a pinch. All right. So that's good there. Another thing you can do, since we're talking about pepper, is you can put in a little black pepper, because black pepper, just like the monounsaturated fats in the avocado, really helps your body absorb these nutrients much better. And it gives a little kick, a little flavor. I really like to put a little black pepper when it's a savory, smoothie, which this one is. It's not really a sweet smoothie, although I'm going to show you that too. I also like to put a little sea salt. Now, this is Redmond's Real Salt. It not only punches up the flavor a bit, but it gives you some trace minerals, once again, making this more effective. Okay, so a little bit in there. And then if you'd like a little extra sweetness in there, you can put in some raw, unfiltered honey. And you can see this is local honey here. I live in Colorado. You can probably get, wherever you're living, local honey to you. As long as it's raw and unfiltered, it is full of nutrients, including nitric oxide boosters, which is what we want, because nitric oxide is what causes the vessels to expand and makes it much easier to get those erections, right? And makes them harder. So nitric oxide is our friend here. Honey can definitely help with that, and it can help with the overall flavor. But once again, if you're looking for something that's just like super delicious, this is not going to be it, right? This is just making it less undelicious. Let's put it that way. All right, good. So, but it's very effective. This is a really effective, as you can see, there's lots of nitric oxide boosters in here. There's testosterone boosters. There's estrogen-lowering agents in there with the mushrooms. Lots of nutrients in general just to support your overall sexual functioning and health, vitality. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Then at this point, what you'll do, like if you have a Vitamix or maybe a NutriBullet or something like that, start off at low speed, go to high speed, and then you can use this plunger here to help bring it up. Now, this is why I have my headphones on, because when you turn this thing on, it can get a little loud, and it's very difficult to talk over it if you're just using a room mic. Whoops. Sorry. That's something that can happen, definitely, especially with the Vitamix. This thing, it's got to be right on there on the bottom. And if you start messing around with this plunger like I did and it gets off, you'll hear that grinding sound. So just stop it immediately. Go back into variable mode. Okay. Now, the main thing is I'm trying to get these beats. See, it's starting to get red. Get these beats. That's where you got to push down on this, is to get them to, start to get into that water. And it's still looking a little thick to me, although I like it a little thick, but I'm going to pour a little bit more water in there. Okay. Good. And then you just mix it around. I like to kind of move my stick here in the opposite direction to get it really stirred up. I like to get it as fine as possible, because as it's blending here, it's breaking up the cellular walls on the plant cells, which are made of cellulose, and your body can't get to the nutrients if the nutrients are still within the cell walls, which is why we chew. Well, part of the reason we chew is to break up those nutrients. Well, the blender is doing the chewing for us. Okay, so that's probably good. Actually, it smells pretty good. Actually, that's not bad. So, let me grab a glass here. I should have grabbed a glass to begin with. Tell you what, I'm just going to use this instead of going off frame here and take this out. And here's another little tip when it comes to smoothies. Because it's pre-chewed for us, that's kind of a disgusting way of thinking about it, but it kind of is. You know, it's broken up for us. Part of what happens when we chew, not only do we break up the cellular walls, but we have probiotics in our mouth. And these foods, like for instance, the beets, have nitrates in them. And those nitrates need to be converted to nitrites so our body can convert it into nitric oxide. Well, a big part of that happens, that transition from nitrates to nitrites, a big portion of that happens in the mouth, and that happens as we're chewing. Now, with the smoothie, we're not really chewing it. So what I recommend when you have a smoothie like this is you actually swish it around in your mouth before you swallow it, and that way it will help convert those nitrates to nitrites. Now I'm going to have a little swig here. It's not bad. Like I said, now tasting it, if anything I was going to add, I would probably add maybe a quarter of a lemon, maybe even a half a lemon, because I love lemon, but for one, and while keeping the skins of the lemon on. If you get an organic lemon, you can just wash the lemon, keep the skin on, take a quarter of it, put it in, because the skin also has something in there called hesperidin, which is also powerful aromatase inhibitor, okay, just like the mushrooms. And I actually add a lot of flavor. But that's what I think this thing would benefit from. But overall, not too bad. It's better than the ones I used to make. I've learned over the years. So this one is not too bad in terms of tasting, and certainly effective. What I recommend you do is drink it an hour to 2 hours before you go into the bedroom. Give it some time to work in your system, okay? And like I said, swish it around in your mouth before you drink it. And then, like I said at the very beginning of this video, keep in mind this helps, but it's just one step. Like, for instance, like I said, it's an ecosystem. Some guys get into their head where they'll take a supplement or they'll take a smoothie and like nothing happens, and they say, well, it just doesn't work. Well, the foundation that you have is not solid enough. What you're taking is not going to break through a weak foundation. Work on building the foundation. That's why I talk about the ecosystem all the time. It really is an ecosystem behind your erections: body, mind, and emotions. Work on the impact point matrix. Get your foundation at least good enough, and these things will really help you in the bedroom. All right, I'll see you next time in the next Smoothie video.
Hey man, I hope you got a ton out of this segment of the Erection Boosting Smoothies video series, where we are diving deep into how you can make your own simple yet powerful rock-solid bedroom performance smoothies. If you would like to get free access to the entire Erection Boosting Smoothies series, make sure you click the link in the description of this video to register for free access to all of the Erection Boosting Smoothie videos in this series, along with some other surprise bonuses. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and turn on your notifications bell so you get all of the future value-packed videos just like this that I will be releasing for you to help you be the best version of yourself and have natural, stage 4, rock-solid performance. I will see you tomorrow in the next Erection Boosting Smoothies video.